In this video, I want to show you how we can explore a Shakespeare character. And we're going to do that through a facility that we call Let's Explore. And that's held in our menu called Let's Play. If you look down the menu, you'll see there is play readings for one player. And if we click on that menu item, we get taken to a page which shows us a whole series of things we can do about exploring one character speeches. So whilst we're looking at this page, I'm going to show you how it's structured, because a lot of the menu items are structured like this. First of all, there's usually a dozen or so items which you can see. In this case, there are 9, but we've got more than 9. Let's explore posts. So if you look down here, you'll see there's older posts, and if I can click on that, or if I click on that, you'll find a few more Let's Explore posts. Each of these usually explore a particular character in Shakespeare. So here's Ophelia, here's Romeo, here's Juliet, a personal favourite. And then when we get to the bottom, we can now go back to the first page or continue to look at further old posts. Now, if you get a screen in our website which has this table of pictures like that, it usually works like this, with the newest post being shown on page 1 and the older posts being shown on further pages. I've gone back to page 1 because the particular example I want to use to show you how this works is Iago. And to get to the post which helps us explore Iago and his character, I click on the picture. So now we get to a post which has some words about Iago, and in this second section, it provides links to particular speeches which we think are of interest when understanding Iago's characters. So this first one is in Act 1, Scene 1, and it explains why Iago dislikes Othello so much. Now, it is Iago's view of why he likes Othello, and it's spoken to Roderigo, so we have to take it with a little bit of a pinch of salt, but nevertheless it's interesting and revealing about Iago. I've clicked on that link and you'll see we've gone to Iago in parts and cues mode, and this is the speech that I think is worth exploring. I'm not going to explore it in detail here with you. The best way of exploring this speech is to speak it out loud. You may feel a little silly speaking out loud, but if you listen to the language and speak it out loud, the emotions that are in the language will start to come out. You may need to read it 2 or 3 times before you really get the feel for it. But trust me, it's really worth exploring that out loud. We don't just have one speech, though. If I click the back button over here, I will go back to, at least I hope I will. Now I've clicked it properly. We go back to the post, which shows us the speech to see. And now here the second speech is, or maybe I'll avoid the second speech because it's in the same act. But I'd like to move on to Act 1, Scene 3, where Iago has a famous speech to Roderigo about putting money in thy purse. If we click on the link, we'll get to Act 1, Scene 3. Again, it's shown in parts and cue mode. Most of the scene is not with Iago in it at all. But towards the end of the speech, the scene, I beg your pardon, he starts to speak. The speech, I think, is particularly interesting. is here. Drown thyself is where I think we should start. Drown cats and blind puppies. And again, if you take the same approach of reading that out loud, maybe 2 or 3 times, you'll find that revealing about Iago's character, always with the proviso that he is talking to Roderigo and not saying necessarily what he believes. Click on the back arrow again, and I get back to more speeches. We also have here a video reading of that "Put Money in Thy Purse" speech, which, if you click on the button here, will play our interpretation of that speech. It's much more interesting to see your interpretation of the speech. So that's the structure of how we put our Let's Explore items together. And there's perhaps one more thing that I want to say. What we've done is look at, I'm going to go back so that you see that, we've looked at parts which are mostly about one individual in many of Shakespeare's plays. If you use this, it can be used as a resource to find audition pieces. It's not got every speech in Shakespeare or every character in Shakespeare, but it will grow over time. But you could explore Helena, Bottom, or the nurse in Romeo and Juliet. You could explore Romeo and Juliet or Ophelia. So all of these give you a source of audition pieces, as well as allowing you to explore the character. If we go back to the home page, it might be worth showing you how you can access those explore items when you're thinking of a particular play. If we click on Othello, which is what we just looked at, we looked at the Iago Let's Explore, you'll see that here, if we go to the Othello play and script, down here you'll see an index which contains a lot of items. There's a section called Let's Explore, and in there, hey presto, is Iago. So if you're looking at a play, you can still find the Let's Explore items which apply to that play. If I click on that link, it will take us to the post that we looked at, which lets you explore the character of Iago. Now, I hope I've given you enough to be able to explore all the characters for which we've set up Let's Explore. That index entry will only exist for those plays which are highlighted in blue. But over time, more and more of the plays will be in that format. I hope you find that interesting, and I hope it encourages you to explore more and more of the characters in Shakespeare.